So I've been making some changes. I've been doing some stuff. And I gotta say that I'm really shocked at like the results of how fast certain things are happening, and it's not even physically. I'm on, I guess what you could say is a fitness journey. I'm on a weight loss journey. I'm not here to drop, an insane amount of weight. I'm trying to get fit. I'm trying to make better decisions, smoke less, drink less, eat less junk. Just it's all the things that we try to do. If you're somebody that's never smoked a cigarette in their life, I applaud you and I envy you, because that is something that it still has its hooks in me, but I'm doing it less. Especially quitting vaping. That was one of the biggest things I noticed, that I started to see a drastic difference in just how I felt and how my day was going. But ultimately, it kind of turned into this thing, like right now in the situation that I'm in, is that I walk a mile every morning, maybe almost every night as well too. I try my best, just depending on the day, and also, depending on how tired I am, because sometimes days just happen. But in the same hand, I'm trying to go at this with no excuses. I'm trying to look at it as the idea of like, look, man, you've been able to build up, to the point that you can finally have exercise equipment, in your garage. You're able to set aside the time. You're not having to leave to go to the gym. So there really is no excuse for me to not be on some kind of equipment every single day. What's weird is the metamorphosis that's happening. And what I mean is that I don't want to smoke in the mornings because I want to run. I don't want to, be out of breath. I don't want it to affect me negatively. I find that I don't want to have pop as often. I don't want, to have a Mountain Dew or a Dr. Pepper like I used to, because honestly, it just made me feel like shit and I didn't even know it. That's the thing that I think is quite interesting, is that our daily habits and the things that we do, they do nothing but just, degrade us. They do nothing but just make everything harder. It's like, you don't have enough energy and you're sluggish because you have so much carbonation in your system, or like, you're eating nothing but sugar and you're getting that, boost of that energy, but in the same hand is that you're getting just that that it leaves behind. God knows what it looks like inside of our colons, because my God. Sidebar, is it weird that whenever you think about someone's internal organs, that you always think about it being completely perfectly lit? And that's not the case. You are literally inside and there's no light. There's no windows into the body. That'd be interesting if somebody did have windows. But no, I'm finding that when I make these decisions, when I'm like, look, man, you've got to get up at least in the morning. Like, you've got to get moving. You've got to do something to be able to keep, your body in the way that it should be, or the way that, your mind is working. Like, mornings are fucking terrible for me. I hate them. I think the way that I described it to Crystal was that I feel like I'm dried cement trying to get through the day, or rather the morning, through that time of waking up. And it sucks, because I used to be a morning person long time ago, but since I've just been lifing and just, being an adult. But the beautiful thing is that since I've started walking in the mornings, and you can attribute this to pre-workout, sure, but in the same hand is that, no, like, I feel better. I feel like I'm doing the right thing. I feel like that there's, I get all my frustration out on the treadmill. Not to mention, I'm also listening to Stephen King's The Long Walk, which is very interesting to listen to when you're on a treadmill. I've been seeing people in theaters actually walking on treadmills to see if they can walk the whole time while the movie's going on, and I would so be down for that. That would be so cool. But that's just it, is that I'm making my exercise time interesting. And quite honestly, it's that thing of like, no, make it fun for yourself. We have a Google Home speaker that we put in our garage, and I thought to myself, you know what? I'm like, let's go ahead and have a way for us to be able to have tunes. Let's have a way that we can listen to music. Let's have a way that we can enjoy, our time in there. But that's just it, is that any audio can be fed to that through your phone. So I'm doing audiobooks and I'm loving it. I'm very mad at myself that I didn't do this sooner, but I also know for a fact that, in my earlier parts of life, that number one, I never would have been able to afford to do this. But secondly, I wouldn't have had the support or the right person to be with me while I was doing it. I mean, like when you're in a situation and it's so toxic and terrible, and all you can think about are the things that you wish that you could do, because there's something sexier about not being able to get to something. You know what I mean? Like it's almost kind of like the forbidden fruit that you're not able or allowed to have. But when we make it out of that toxicity or that narcissism or that kind of abuse, and we're finally free to do so, there's a lot of times that we're too depressed to even do the things that we wanted to do in that situation. And I tell you what, is that understanding full well that I understand the gifts that God has given me. I understand how fortunate I am in every aspect that I can list off, you know, for an hour about how great my life is right now. And I'm so thankful that it is, because for a long time it wasn't. To quote Christopher Titus, I earned this shit, okay? I have earned this shit. But I also don't flaunt it. I look at it and go, look, guys, if you're in a depressive state because of a situation you were in, do some things that you wish that you would have done, or wish that you could have done, whatever the right way to say that is. Because I'm telling you right now, I am excited every day that I wake up. I am excited that there is a way to make myself better and just feel better. I really don't even eat like shit anymore. Like on Saturday, Crystal and I watched college football, and you know what we had? We had a veggie tray. Like, I remember looking at her and I'm like, I like eating healthy. This is cool. It's one of those that, like, I know of my friends, family, my acquaintances, my co-workers, you know, the people I haven't met yet, is that this is always a struggle, is to try to be fit or to try to do something. But being mentally fit and being physically fit, they're both important. And it's, you know, you don't have to be a Greek god or goddess. You don't have to worry about having 0% body fat. I mean, that's an unrealistic standard. But the thing is, you want your heart to last as long as possible. You want your skin to be okay. You want your, you know, inner workings of your digestive system to function properly. You want to be able to pee properly for the rest of your life. You want to be able to do all these different things. And the decisions that we make now matter. That they matter in the long run, and I'm really starting to understand that. I remember this morning even, I messaged my girl and I said, I'm like, I did these 3 things this morning, and I cannot tell you how much better I feel because of it. And it's wild, because usually when I have those moments of like achievement, or that moment of like, oh, you know, everything's fine, but then you kind of come back down, you know, there's always something that knocks you down. And I'm pretty sure that I will get knocked down. Who knows? The next driving vlog you watch, I could be very defeated. But the point is that it's been damn near almost 6 or 7 hours. I feel great. I really do. And I don't understand why it took so long for me to figure it out. I really wish I would have done this a lot sooner. To whoever's watching this, you don't have to make any kind of big decisions. You don't have to change a big thing in your life. Change one thing and watch the rest of everything else change along with it. I think you might surprise yourself. Thanks, guys.